Welcome to Sorry Not Sorry with Mark and Rob. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of what we got going on. Check out our description below and click on episode 3, Titanic and JP Morgan.
Yes, and before we get started, just wanted to let you guys know we do have a special Instacart offer if you look in the description. Get your groceries delivered to your home within an hour and get $35. Get a free delivery on your first $35 delivery. And so today we went into conspiracies, the Titanic, and JP Morgan. So
That's right. This is a great episode we talk about. So put yourself in this setting. It's April 10th, 1912. You're sitting there on the docks. The most beautiful ship, most grandest ship that was ever created, the Titanic, is there at the dock. You have yourself some tickets to get on and have the first ever chance to make a historical moment to set sails across the seas to the USA in the grandest ship ever, the Titanic. Right?
oh,
So now with that, we all know the rest of the context of the story. The ship goes down, it's gone, and we lose more than 3/4 of the people on the ship. But there's a lot of stuff behind that people disregard and they don't know. And we
yes.
talk about that in this podcast.
Yes, there's a lot of elitist theories and political theories behind it, and if you guys are like us, throughout basically our whole lives, we would randomly get obsessed with the Titanic, looking into the stories, whether it be watching the movie, reading the stories, looking into the conspiracies. It's just even without the conspiracies, the Titanic just always fascinated me, the whole story since I was young, and Rob as well. It's definitely fun. You guys will like this episode. There's a lot of things you might have not heard of before, and definitely start searching into it. It gets addictive. I mean, I can't even count how many times I randomly get into it and I'm like looking it up for days or weeks, just reading on it.
So why don't you give us a skinny on one of the subjects? So what's one of the conspiracies? Give us a skinny. Let's tell our viewers what one of the things out there, out of the many conspiracies that are actually out there for this subject.
Oh yeah, well one, I won't get too much into the big one because you got to watch the show, listen to the show for that. But one that we did dive into in the show was that the Titanic wasn't, and they title it so bad because you'll see the Titanic didn't sink, and it's not that people are saying a ship didn't sink. They're saying that the what was it, the Queen Mary, right? That was the one we were talking about.
You're talking about the
the
sister
Olympia,
ships,
the Olympia,
Olympic.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Olympic. Yeah, so the Olympic was the first of the sister ships that was built before the Titanic, and they all looked similar. And the whole theory behind that was that the ship was hemorrhaging money with its problems. So what they did was the Titanic had a better insurance policy on it, so they actually switched the names of the ship, and that the Olympic is actually the actual ship that went down.
They literally sat back, they changed the nameplates because the Olympic had all the issues as a first generation anything. If you buy a car that's a first generation of anything, the first new body style or the first new name of a car, the whole saying is don't buy the first one for the first year or two because they got to work out the kinks. It was the same scenario with this.
Well,
They had their kinks in there and they said, fuck it. We can't afford that. We need to make our money back. And how they did it by switching nameplates and they pulled it back into the docks after the crash that happened in New York City with the Olympics. So they switched the nameplates with Titanic. They set sail, and apparently the whole thing is they planned an insurance fraud scheme that killed 3/4 of the crew, 3/4 of the whole entire passengers and crew members on the ship, which is over 1,500 out of the 2,200 people in the ship.
well,
So
and
we get
that
into
phrase,
that, man.
that phrase to never buy the first of anything is relevant for a lot of people now with the new consoles, the Xbox and PlayStation that just came out. So
Yep, exactly. We get
But
into that. We also get also with that too. We get into conspiracies of J.P. Morgan, how J.P. Morgan also owns the yards that were there taking care of the ships, building the ships. Also, is a partial of the company, the White Star Line, and how he didn't get on the Titanic, even though he booked $155,000 ticket for a suite, which at the time cost $4,800. We get to a bunch of things.
oh yeah, I mean, I love this episode. I always love talking about this. I think you guys will love it. It's definitely great, whether you have been into it already or this is your first time checking it out. You might have came across this video searching it like we do, and you're welcome if we turned you on to it, because it is fun. I love looking into it, man. And it's good for our first conspiracy episode too.
Yeah, not for nothing, man. The Titanic to me is such an enjoyable subject because enjoyable because I'm not saying that I loved or I like I don't want to say it was a great thing to have because I'm obsessed with it, whatever. It's just such a unique thing, I guess. It was the biggest maritime disaster that ever happened in history. Everybody knows about Titanic, all that kind of stuff. I became obsessed with it. The movie came out, and the movie represented the sinking in a way that honestly drew a bunch of people into the obsession of what actually happened to the Titanic. What was the history behind it? Where the iceberg was, the people, all that kind of stuff. It's really an interesting topic on its own without the conspiracies. But once you add the conspiracies on top of that, it brings the older people who watched the movies or knew about the history of it into a whole new light to regain another interest on top of what they already had. And anybody who's not ever into it, just, if you've never seen Titanic, the movie, watch it. If you have watched it, it never piqued your interest, then I don't know what to say because you're looking at it as a romantic movie. I never saw it as a romantic movie. I literally saw it as like part of history because I was already obsessed with it before I seen the movie. And it literally kind of reenacted what actually happened in the view. The way they did everything, it was so realistic that I enjoyed it in a historical sense that it made me obsessed.
Oh, yeah, you guys will definitely enjoy this episode. If you look on the screen, you could subscribe and check out our previous episode, Staten Island Trash, with special guest Adam Nutter, which was also a great episode. We hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to tune in on Monday for episode 4, The New Digital Currency. And Rob, take us out.
Yep. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you Monday where we go into the conspiracies, more conspiracies, considering what is it, Mark,
For what?
for Monday's episode?
Oh, the new digital currency.
Yes. Talk about the new digital currencies. I'm a went blank. So talk about the new digital currencies and how they're going to be possibly the new currencies of America and how paper money will be wiped out. Hope you guys tune in for Monday's episode. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is Mark.
And this is Rob.
Don't forget to check the description below for our Apple Podcast and Spotify link to today's episode.
And also check the Linktree link to listen to the podcast on your favorite streaming platform.
And don't forget to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new content. We love you guys and peace out.
Peace.